Yeah. Okay, welcome to the channel. Bad day. Hope you're having a better day than I am. That's how I came up with the name. I think we're all feeling that tends to be the case these days. Wanted to get in, starting the stream here. I'm going to record this video, post it. Got a little talk on the format. You can see I did a lot of drafts last night while at work on my tablet, up to 59 packs. But you can see I've burnt through about 3,000 or so gems, punting a couple of drafts. Ended with a nice 7-win deck, and that's what I want to get into, a little state of the format and kind of like where I feel like I'm really learning things here. So I'll just look at this deck here. This is something I was quite happy with, and I looked at it and I was like, man, this deck is getting everything right. So I first picked High Perfect Morkant, and I really don't get into elves much. Really, this is like my first real elf deck. And you can see here, like, I get past this. I like third or fourth pick Abigail in pack 1, and also like third or fourth pick it. I can't remember like how it went. I think it was like fourth pick pack 1, third pick pack 2, and Abigail. Which I'm like, why is this card, you know, hanging around? This is just so good, right? We follow this up, like, I get past the Gloom Ripper in pack 3. Like, it's obvious that elves were the place, and I'm like, wow, I finally got into elves. I got this great elf deck. This deck hard punted. It went 2-3. Now, I can sit here and say, like, yes, I did play against the best decks in the format that I've ever faced. Like, the guy went Champion of the Weird into Tree Folks that can get their counters removed for, you know, Blight synergies. So it's just like, okay, he established this board, and I don't have interaction for it. I just lose. Into, like, another elf deck that was just, like, way better than this even. And it's like, you know, what am I doing at that point? But I think it's just like an interesting thing to clock, right? Like, that's why I always give predictions at the end of the draft portion of what I think the deck will actually do in the gameplay. That way I can look back and assess, like, was I right or was I wrong? Did I overvalue cards? Did I undervalue cards? You know, did it under or overperform? And, you know, what are those things? And really what it came down to this deck was, felt like it was just a lack of interaction and stuff. Like, when my 2, 3, 4 drop curve got interacted with, I didn't really have much of a comeback way here. And even though there's a Gloom Ripper, a Blight Rot, an Assert Perfection, you know, a Scarblade Malice for some, you know, some amount of interaction, and a Sapling Nursery to kind of go long, it didn't get there. And maybe that's a fluke. And maybe there was some, I thought I had some of those, like, Auntie's -2/-2 cards that I didn't end up playing. But no, I just didn't have much of anything going on here, outside of, like, where the deck ended up. Which is okay. Like, lots of rares in here. You know, thought it was going to be really strong. I did this draft, and then the next draft, I just had a terrible draft navigation. I'm not even sure, like, where it was supposed to end up. Like it just didn't seem like there was anything in my initial packs in pack 1 and pack 2, and just felt terrible. And then you go and look at this deck. Oh wait, no, that's the same deck. Sorry, this deck. You look at this deck and you go like, this doesn't have Gloom Ripper, Morkins. It doesn't even have the 3 mana lords that get back an elf when they die. And this deck was so much better. This deck easily 7-0'd. Well, no, it's 7-1. Correct. I was 6 wins when I took my first loss, though. And it just grinded through the games. There was even a game where I got like interrupted and had to step away and missed a turn, and not like a small turn. Like I missed like turn 5 or 6 of the game. Like just and was able to still like come back and win that game. And it really comes down to the fact that it just had like 2 Assert Perfections, 2 Blight Rots, like some cheaper ways of interacting, some better card advantage in Eclipsed Elf, and Champions of the Perfect. This was my first pick of this draft. And because I just punted what I thought was a great elf deck, I was almost like, oh man, here we go again. And then I finished this draft and I'm like, this is nowhere as good, right? And it turns out Morkin's Eyes is unbelievably good. The data supports it and stuff, I'm sure, right? I know I saw it, but I don't remember. But it had it's got a good win rate. This card alone just won me so many games of just, hey, make 5 or 6 2/2s. They stabilize the board. Yeah, your big 6/6 creatures or whatever, you know, as long as they don't have trample. Like, this is fine. And the only thing I had to really kill were flyers and tramplers. And then we get a Dundalin Weaver here. Returns it. I unbury the Dundalin Weaver. Return it. Just super ground out games. And I've made the assessment before that these games go long. They get like super grindy. Yes, the other deck did have a sapling nursery. The problem was that it couldn't churn and burn to get to the point where sapling nursery could come online and could get you back into the game. And while Champions of the Perfect is an amazing card, in that 7-win run, I only had 1 game where this hit the board and wasn't immediately removed. Like, I had 1 game where I got to draw a card off of it, and my opponent like immediately conceded. So there's not much to be like said here. Like Eclipsed Elf, the 3/2 stat line is a lot better than some of the other Eclipse creatures, just having like you know, maybe being 2/3s or whatever. But I mean, it's fine. The Scarblade Scouts kind of getting you there. Like, notice in a Bog Slither's Embrace. The other deck, notably, I definitely clocked this after all this that you wouldn't think of. Like, this deck had 1 chance to pick a Bog Slither's Embrace over another card. And it was my pack 1, pick 1, where I took High Perfect Morkant. And I'm telling you now, I would take the Bog Slither's Embrace over this quote-unquote bomb-like looking card, because this is just, it's just slow. Like, yes, if you can get in this point and get into the grindy space, like, this can kind of take over. But it does just kind of get removed. It doesn't have, like, a huge immediate impact on the game, because you don't really have, like, a lot of way of, like, forcing your opponent to blight. So this tapping things to proliferate just doesn't seem to matter. And And Creekrite Safeguard seemed like this is a like much better creature than Scarblade Scouts. Sure, I guess. Like in my own playing and stuff, like this just like it seems okay. I almost value the lifelink and the milling. Like you do need to have the cards in the yard to turn on these other effects. So it's in a spot where like these supposedly like really good cards were something that and yeah, Tam's like okay, but like or like these okay cards, you know, just being something that's just a little bit more impactful on like the moment you play them. And loyalists, I would never like not take this. I'm just saying the other deck didn't have one, and it just feels like it didn't need it. It's just like, makes the deck a little bit more resilient and a little longer, capable of pushing a little bit more. But the most important elf card that you can return is a Morkin size. So if I had the choice between the Lord and a Morkin size, I'm always taking this card. This card way overperformed. It just looked great. So just like some state of the format ramblings here, where the format is it can be really fast. You can't have these awesome like curve out decks. So you do want some cheap interaction in your decks so that you can hit their key lord or whatever's like buffing the board or something to slow down the damage. Lifelink and some life gain stuff really helps. Those like vivid cards that gain stuff. The Luminos and the Shimmerweed or whatever that drains some. The Pummeler for hire. Like these cards get a lot of value in just like buying you time against those gold wide strategies until you can just like play your higher end cards and close out the game. I've been listening to some people while I was at work, some podcasts talking about the format, and just give some credit here, like Lords of Limited. They have some very good ways of looking at things that I was just like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. They came up with the HAIL acronym, like instead of bread, of haymakers, answers, identity, meaning like, are you a Blight Matters? Is it a Blight Matters card? Is it a Kithkin? And then leverage, just meaning like, like some card advantage, like the Morkin size or the enchantment, letting you surveil one every turn is extremely important in getting your overall card quality a little bit higher. Draw spells, cards that replace themselves, your 2-for-1s, your 3-for-1s. Like, these are extremely important to get into your decks. But then, I've listened to some people and they like 5 minutes into it, just turn it off. It's like you're talking about just general things of like, oh man, this is a super fast format. You need like 7 to 8 cheap interaction spells. And this is like, no, you don't. I mean, most of my 7-win runs now have been with decks that have 5 or less interaction spells. They're the cheaper, more efficient ones. But they, you the card quality of the creatures that you're playing. Like, oh yeah, I won't say anything negative about people. Yeah, I'll give positive things Oh, but I'm not going to call people out for their things that I disagree with. But going on the fast format thing, of like he said, like the general thing of needing 6 to 8 2-drops in your deck. I was like, that is insanely wrong. These 2-drops in this format here, just look at the commons, and we'll even look at uncommons. These 2-drops are mostly dog shit. Like, you don't need to be throwing these in decks that don't care about these creatures. And you can say, like, oh, I'm in I'm in an elemental deck, so I want Summit Sentinel. No. No, you don't. You don't need this card. This is extremely filler level crap, that you should probably cut from your deck. Oh, I'm in Merfolk. I want Silver Mentor. Absolutely. You really want these cards. But if you only have, like, 2 mentors, you don't need, like, oh, I need to fill up my curve of my Merfolk deck, so I'm going to play a Glamour Gifter. I'm going to play a Preacher, Timid Shield Bearer. Like, my opponent's, like, playing Wanderbrine Preacher on turn 2. I'm like, oh, thank God it wasn't, like, a Silver Gear Mentor or something, or even Gravelgill. Like, this card just doesn't do anything. Like, and it being in your deck and playing it, this is like, yeah, you can get on the board on turn 2, and there's something to be said about that. But lowering your overall card quality of your deck to put these in there to just get that 2-drop count to 7 or 8 so that you always have a 2 play is not there. Like, you don't have to make a play turns 1 and 2 in this format. Like, it's a lot better to have, like, a removal spell in this slot than this guy. Like, or just something up the curve of, much better 2 or 3 and 4 drops that are like guaranteed 2-for-1s that get you back in the game. Right? Whereas Flame Braider and Prodigy are very good in your Elementals deck, do not put Flame Chain Mauler in it. Like, just don't. Like, I've made this mistake of looking at a deck going, oh man, I got 3 Flame Braiders, 3 Flame Chain Maulers, and those are the worst performing decks. And it's just because I've got 3 cards in there that are just so low quality. It's just an anchor holding this deck down and stopping it from being able to just churn with these other decks and hang in there. Feisty Spikeling. God, this card is just so bad. Take me to my next point here, which is these cards are important to take in the draft portion. There's always, like, 2 very big things. I've been talking a lot about the gameplay itself, which is something that's, draft is 2 parts of a format: navigating the draft and then the gameplay. And both are, equally weighted. And depending on the format, one is a lot more difficult than the other. And what can make draft navigation so difficult is if you have a fundamental misunderstanding of the gameplay, of, like, why am I losing these games? Like, I went Feisty Spikeling on 2 into, like, another 2-drop or 3-drop into this. Like, I curved out. I did the thing that you're supposed to do in Limited, and it didn't get there. And it's because it's almost better to just not even have this damn card than to I'm having to chug down a soda here, trying to keep my throat clear because I'm getting sick. This cold is getting to me. But these cards are important to take in the draft. But you need to understand that these, like what these kind of glue cards are doing is it's just giving you like multiple pathways. Like if you take this card in your first 5 or 6 picks, it's not because you're excited about taking a feisty Spikeling. It's because you're like, well, I've taken 2 red cards. I'm going to take this Spikeling. Maybe I'm goblins. Maybe I'm elementals. Maybe I'm vivid. I don't know. So just let me take a card that is likely to make the deck. But this isn't like a good card. You can replace this card. Like it's the 20th to 23rd card in the deck usually. And you know, I see people play multiple copies of like these filler level cards. And yes, sometimes your draft navigation just kind of goes wonky that way. Like you don't have a lane. So you keep taking these cards that leave multiple lanes open to you. But that doesn't mean like that should be the goal. And in that spot where you're in red and you have the choice of taking like a Boggart Curse Crafter and you go like, oh, well, maybe I'm goblins, you know? But if you take this Curse Crafter, pick 2 or pick 3, we'll say like, you know, somewhere in that 4 to 5 range. If you have these options, don't take the Curse Crafter, because this Curse Crafter, if you're not goblins and you don't go into black, this is just a card that can't make your deck, whereas this is a card that does. And these cards do nice things as far as gameplay goes. You know, you need to care about the multiple things for these cards to actually be like actively good in the deck as far as like gameplay comes down to. You need them to care about the creature types generally, like, and you need them to have like some added cost, like in giving you vivid. This is where these cards like really can shine, is if you're in an elementals deck that also has some vivid payoffs, or like if you're in some sort of green white deck or something, where getting these extra like color pips matter, maybe the creature types matter, you know, where they're pulling, not just like keeping you open, but they're actively pulling like double and triple duty in the deck. That's when these cards come down onto, and then they feel really good because their impact on the game goes beyond that into making your vivid cards a lot better. And if they're not doing that, if this is just a 2-mana 2/1 first strike that's only on your turn, like this card is statted quite poorly. It just doesn't feel, you know, like this is going to be, like I said before, this is that anchor, right? And you want to change this anchor into a sail, something that helps enable the boat to move. Gives it a little bit of breathing room as far as its draws and stuff go. But even in those situations where you have the vivid payoffs, you know, maybe you still might be looking for just some better 2-drops, but the fact that you add, you add a token, you add a draw spell, you add a point of drain, you reduce the cost by making Permabasher target an additional creature for an additional added power toughness. Like, that's huge, you know? And then it being an elemental on top, because these payoffs are like elementals, makes it even better. So just be mindful of that. The answers part is very important, and why I very highly am taking these where the heck are they? The Cinder Strikes. Did Oh, it's because I've got creature tagged. And why, like, cards like Cinder Strike I take so highly, and if I see these pick 5, 6, I typically slide into red. Being able to, on the draw, against like a Merfolk or, you know, Kithkin Curve Out deck, the only way that you can take back sort of the initiative of the gameplay and get your footing in is, you know, with an answer. But it can't be a 3-mana Tweeze. You know, it can't be, you know, some bounce spell and stuff. Like, you need to be able to double spell. You need to be able to, on turn 4, I play my Cinder Strike, I play my 3-drop, and you can get back on parity with the person. Like, it's so important. Like, I've said before, like, I much more slant my decks towards the end game now, and just take those losses to the curve out decks if I don't happen to have my answers in hand, and just go, okay, well, you know, that's just where we're at. Because if you don't yourself just get a strong curve out deck, the only other option is, like, you load up on a crap ton of removal, which will make you weaker to the slower, grindier, like Vivid, you know, payoff decks and stuff. And it just seems like there's a lot more impact of these grindier games. You just get into the muck a lot more than it is a damage race. And which is kind of typical of limited formats. This isn't like a new thing. There are formats where there are very consistent fast decks, like the Jeskai Space decks and Tarkir Dragonstorm, where you just had the Boros decks that just would run over the dragon decks fast enough that the dragon decks didn't have the cheap answers. And that just was the format. It seemed like it was very, you know, polar, and like there was just very two ends of the spectrum that you were really getting into in your average drafts. And that was like a little different. They didn't really go into, like, but if you were a dragon deck versus a dragon deck, you know, maybe these answers kind of would hold you back. So there's always, you do need answers, but you need an appropriate amount of them, and you need the good ones, not the bad ones. Where when Blightrot initially, like, to me, just read as murder, and this isn't murder. Like, this is nowhere near as good. This is interesting in that you can have synergies with the fact that you're putting -1/-1 counters on stuff. But the times that it doesn't kill a creature, or the fact that maybe you have to, like, 2-for-1 yourself with his 6/6 creature or whatever, you need to, you know, put this on there and also hope that you can trade, or you play this on the card and you go for the block with your 4/4 into a 6/6 and you Blightrot it, and then his response is, okay, I'll kill your 4/4. And then he's left with a 2/2 out of that. It's horrendous. Like, it feels so bad. Like, a lot of the times this is murder, but those times that it's not makes this 3 mana card feel really bad. Requiting Hex, terrible. Like, initially I thought the format was really fast, and I get why people kind of came to that conclusion in their first couple of drafts, because they lose to the Merfolk and Kith can curve out decks, and they're just like, what do I do? Like, that's just the format? Like, okay. But really, it just comes to like a weighted sum of games. You need to play enough games to develop these things and realize this card just sucks too bad. Like, even if you're getting run over in the curve out decks, this is just too bad. Like, in best of 3, it's probably a decent sideboard card. You know, if you had 2 of these in your sideboard against some the curve out decks, that would be good. Of course, we don't play best of 3 because economically it's not very good. But it's obviously Blightrot, Requiting Hex. There are no box leathers embraced. Like, this common is so much better than this uncommon. It's, you know, just crazy. Spiral into Solitude, very good if you care about blighting your own stuff. But generally speaking, this strike seems to just be better. Mostly because of the modality, because there are really good artifacts and enchantments in the format. So this being a 2-for-1 is just so much better than this being like a 4 mana. Hope I have some blight synergies going on. But cards like Burning Curiosity too. This is maybe the best draw spell in the format. Like the blue, 5 mana Convoke one. What's it called? Unexpected Assistance. Like, this is probably better. But I just end up in red so much more than I end up in blue anymore. So I really value, like, taking... I'd probably give a little bit more weight to, like, if I had to pick them one to the other, take the red card. But these cards, like, you need card advantage. These games do get really grindy. And that's why, like, the Eclipse creatures are so good. I know I really hated on this one for the stat line, but mostly it's because Flaring Cinder's a card. Like, this gives you a card, but this can give you card selection throughout the game, so this is just so much better than here. Oh. Enough ramblings about the format. I'm just going to leave that here. There's just a lot more to be said about it. I'm sorry, not a lot more to be said about it. The other side of the conversation is, again, like, draft navigation versus gameplay is, you need to, if you can be the fast curve out deck, that is great, and you should probably do that. But those decks are few and far between. You're not going to get your curve out Merfolk deck enough times to not be aware that the reason that you're not doing well in the format is you're not embracing, like, the other aspect of it. Like, those decks are super powerful, and if you can play them, that's great. But most of your decks aren't going to be that. So how do you get the most out of the higher average of decks that you're going to be playing? Is the cheap interaction to have, combat those decks, but really just higher and higher card quality and card selection and drawing and surveilling and scrying. These things really matter in these games. Like, every little extra card you can see increasing those card qualities up. And when you have to see a 2-drop that just isn't that impactful later on the game, turns 7 and 8, those are really the games where your deck just falls on its face and loses. And it's just, you need your 2-drops to still have impact as you draw them later, or you're not going to get anywhere. So that's kind of like my assessment so far, like a weekend. Doing well in the drafts, we're up to, like I said, like 59 packs now. The goal being to like double this pile before we crack them all. So I'm gonna leave us off here on this recording. Just some thoughts. Hopefully, you get that out there. Maybe some people will watch this and start some conversations with me, because I'm interested to see what other people are saying. Like I said, there are people that I watch and they're like exactly agreeing with all my assessments. You know, the little confirmation bias there. And then there's people who are saying like the opposite things. And while I don't want to fault them for feeling that way, because I've maybe felt that way myself at a time or two. But the more you play it and the more you go, you're just like, no, the typical fundamentals of drafting formats kind of give way to the gameplay. Like, how do the games actually play? And you go like, okay, the games are different this time. The games are slower, grindier. So now we get away from the 2-drop thing of like needing 7, 8 2-drops. So like, yeah, I'll take the 2 or 3 good 2-drops. And just like hope I get them, and if I don't, like whatever. Like I win so many games where I just don't play a card till turn 3. Like it really matters that your cards are just good. Like when you play the 3-drop, it's just a really good card and can get you back into the game. So leave it there. Hope y'all are having a better day than I am, and I'll talk to you next time. Okay. Now I got all those thoughts out of my head of how the format's going. Time to hop into another draft here. Did seemingly have like the worst luck imaginable yesterday drafting. Just thing after thing not going my way. Just lots of mulligans. Okay. Lorwyn, I've had some experience in playing against this card. He is quite good. This guy starts pezzing out a lot of guys. Interesting, I pointed out before, I took like a rare elf in my first like real elf deck, and I had the choice of like taking it over box leather someplace, like the Morkent or whatever. And I said like I would definitely take box leather's embrace over it. But this card I actually feel is like quite a bit better than that card. Here, I'll be back. Just step away, check in on supper there. Let's see. Man, there is not much here I'm interested in taking. This is, if I'm just sticking with the green side of things, this Mist Battle Council is pretty good. I mentioned before this, I like these kind of glue cards of sticking open a little bit earlier. But I'm fine with just getting into the weeds here of the green. And kind of punished for it, as there's not a green card here to take. But a 4th pick Deep Way Navigator, that's a signal, I think. That's a... This isn't as good as the Uncommon Lord. But, like, what else am I going to take here? Am I going to take a Sizzling Changeling, just speculate on red? Like, this seems like a much more, like a signal to get into this Merfolk deck. Which I don't think I've actually drafted a good Merfolk deck yet. And here we kind of see we get a Dawn's Light Archer for our green pool. Not excited about that. Noticing there's 2 decent red removal spells here, and a Dream Seizure. But if we're getting into maybe blue-white being open, we can take this Unexpected Assistance. And maybe we end up in a Vivid deck. Mira! Dang dog. Now we have... Keep Out is okay. And then there's Foraging Wickermaw, which is okay for the Vivid payoffs. I like Keep Out like a lot more than I initially thought. Foraging Wickermaw is good if you're a Vivid deck, but I want payoffs before I get enablers. That's how I always view things. Spiral, decent removal spell in white again. Temporal Cleansing, I really like, especially on the Convoke end of things here. But I'll take a Spiral. Maybe white's a little more. It looks like white and blue are the open lanes here. Then we get into Kolrath Mystic and Spell Snare. Spell Snare's just not good enough in limited play. Not excited about any of this stuff. I guess it's Mystic. Noting we haven't seen like another good Merfolk. So here is a Vivid payoff. So we're going to kind of just keep waffling here. Not huge signals either way. Flaring Cinders, definitely good. It looks like maybe Elementals were open. Given some of those red burn spells that we saw a little later. Here's another Keep Out. Yeah, now we'll take a Forager that we've got a Wildvine Pummeler. Here, yeah, we're just going to take this core. It's been okay. And then now we see, like, our second Merfolk is a Tributary Vaulter. Not excited about that. So, well, now we get an Ashling's Command. This is one of the, like, the highest win rate rare of the set. I think there's obviously mythics with higher win rates. But this card is just so solid, and I don't mind being like a blue-green Vivid deck that splashes this card. I think that's where I've ended up before. I was quite happy with it. Noting there's a Shine Striker, also very good for the Vivid decks. And not much else that I'm interested in taking here anyway. So Now I come in. Oh, Bloom Tender. Quite the enabler for our Vivid pile. But I always take the payoffs first. And Prisma Basher just wins you games. So we're going to take it over a Bloom Tender. This feels kind of bad, though. Like, I wish these packs just weren't aligning where I had to make a choice of one of these cards. But it is what it is. I'm sure there's probably some stats that say Bloom Tender's win rate is high enough that I should just be taking it over Prisma Basher. But we're just going to continue the course here. Right here, I really do like Angly Stompling, like quite a bit more. If we're red, green, Vivid, this gives us the extra color pip, and without really getting too heavily into green. Note there's a Bog Slither's Embrace, but we're not really black here, so I'll take the Stompling. Now we get Celestial Reunion. I always have to read this card because every time I read it, I'm like, is that what it does? Is that bad? And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of bad. Take another Pummeler. And now at least my Vivid deck has enough high-end stuff. Oh, another Prisma Basher. And now I wish I took the Mana Dork for sure. Kind of coming back to bite me here. We'll take Undercurrents. Actually, I'm going to take this Shimmer Creep. I've really liked this card. Said it's just the drain, and again Pummeler for higher. Yeah, so this you can just gain some life to get to these cards. Yeah, Dream Seeker, Gift, Darkness. I don't think I'm playing any of these, so I'm just going to rare draft this Dream Harvest. I think I'm going to take an Archer here. Just another card that didn't just like buy us some time. Get us a nice block in. This kind of just becomes a 3-mana removal spell. And that is alright. Let me just pull this out. Seems like Goblins was open. I've tried many a time to make a Goblin deck work. And seems like it can do cool things. Like there's like a line of cards that you can draw. Holy crap, a Bog Slither's Embrace this late. Okay. What is happening? What is that? Oh man, I don't know what to think about that. Definitely seeing that was open. Here I kinda just want to take the Evolving Wilds. This will just let us splash a lot easier. This is just I think the easiest slam dunk Evolving Wilds of my life. My other Vivid decks seemed like they had no problem casting whatever spell I wanted at whatever time of the game. Seems like the fixing with Foraging Wicker Maw can just get you there. Like these cards are very important for the deck. You know, getting 2 of these is where I'm at. Shimmer Wild's Growth gives you the extra color and stuff that we want. Absolutely taking that. We have some powerful end game. We just need to get there. Remember, this copies an elemental. So you can copy a Prisma Basher and a Shimmer Creep. So we've got tons of end game. We just need to get there. So we're going to play a nice ramp spell that adds color to the pile. Now thinking about that Bloom Tender pick, I didn't even clock that I had Tam, and that it could have just went Bloom Tender into Tam, like make infinite mana. I'm gonna take the second Wicker Maw over second Evolving Wilds here, though. Like, this is constantly being whatever color you need to fill the curve is quite nice. Same thing here. Going to take just a Great Forest Druid. Keep the Fixin' flowing. Here's a pick. Blighted Blackthorn. It's okay. I don't think any of these cards are making the deck realistically. So we'll just take this rare. Interesting spot to take a Temple Garden to continue making our mana base better. But I'm going to just slide in here and take another Stompling. Third Prisma Basher, but we're going to take third Wicker Maw. Tend the Sprigs. This card I haven't actually put in a deck yet, and I don't know I'm going to do it this time. Grassplane here is a nice filler card again. Dang, do I just take another Bog Slither's Embrace? I get how I did, but maybe one in this other Grassling. Gonna go the Keep Out and the Spiral. The Spiral does give us a white permanent. I don't care. Don't care. We got lots of blue sources. We're gonna go down a blue. Up a black. Down a red. Up a black. Just to turn these Bog Slither's Embraces on earlier. Maybe that's a little too much for Ashley's Command, but this isn't like a some of the other like regular blue-red elemental decks where Ashley's Command on turn 5 is where you're aiming. This is almost like I want to play this much later and copy some of these higher, like more expensive cards anyway. And there's, like, this is the only red card, and really the only blue card, because I'm going to be playing these other blue cards for the green side most of the time anyway. The idea here is I just don't want to get, you know, keep 2 islands, keep 2 mountains, and then draw islands and mountains, and the deck fall on its face. So, yeah, this is fine. Wait a minute, I forgot about Lorwyn. Do I want this guy in the deck? Mill 4 cards, then you may put a creature or land card from among them onto the top. Discard a land card, create. Yeah, he's okay. He's okay. Getting the ability of discarding the land, Because the land itself adds to the count. Okay. What's this? Now we get our... We can get an island. Turn our island into a red source, and now steps for blue and red, and we're fine. Don't think I'll block here. So our buddy has the has a counter spell. What's the play around that? Okay. Wasn't counter. So this is going to be disgusting. Tam will make a creature 5, and this will give these creatures +5/+5, and 2 of them having trample. Means I'm about to slam this dude hard as hell here if this goes off. But playing in the open mana, I think we'll just develop the Graspling. Maybe this is just too wussy. Okay. I don't think I got a choice anymore. I kind of got to make this play this turn. let's make this archer all colors. So we can tap one of the trample guys. He's got chumps. And third unexpected assistance. Okay. I like this guy's deck. I haven't gotten to play like a fairies draw go deck yet. Kind of disappointed in Lorwyn as a whole that the fairies isn't like a more supported archetype as a whole. Like I was really looking forward to just playing fairies in standard. So his Bloom Bearer makes bitter Bloom Bearers now? What a combo. I think it's probably better to just get in here. Because I'm thinking he blocks here, here, here to here, or here, here. Then these two kind of give him, yeah. Just gonna pressure as hard as possible here. Get this game closed out now. That's lethal? Okay. Alright. What were you gonna do? Like, go to 1 or 2 and make a bunch of copies of dudes that were gonna kill you? That don't seem right. That's one of those things where just clocking like how those games flow and how you win those games. It's like he played a lot of stuff and he just churned his wheels, drew tons of cards, didn't impact the board enough. The cards that he was playing weren't impactful enough. Here's a spot keeping 3 forests in a turn 3 play. Seems super slow. He didn't have a 1 plate. He doesn't have a 2. This is typically what's happening in a lot of my games. So until somebody really beats it out of me that, you know, that this is not okay, you know, I'm just gonna keep making these, keeping these slower hands and stuff. Like, I'm okay losing the curved out decks sometimes. You know, if he went 1 drop, 2 drop, a more aggressive 3 drop, yeah, sure. You know. Getting our colors online. And Moonlit Lamenter, very good card. This enables all your blight synergies and stuff. I mean, the card just feels amazing. Shimmer Creep does let me get in a lot better than this Pummeler. But it's a lot better to buff with the Prisma Basher, too, so. I mean, given these 3 creatures +3/+3 alone is... Oh. Okay. Blossom Bind is decent removal. It is that cheap interaction that you're looking for. Oh, this is just crazy. I kind of want to play this and keep this Shimmer back. Because now I can do the thing again where Prisma Bastard just pumps these guys to the moon. Just gonna pick up Lamenter for value. Okay. That's a fair play. Tapping his blue, letting me know he doesn't have a counter spell here. He might have the... Oh. Oh, man. How much slow rolling do we do? Oh, wait. No, I don't have the mana for this anyway. Just play another Pummeler, I guess. Not the worst time to just get in with one of these creatures. Like trading this for his Peddler or Flock Imposters, like, okay. Because I'm gonna... Well, no, I can buff it next turn. Never mind. I'll just hold. Because I'll make this 5 color and it'll be 4 creatures getting +5/+5. Quite nice. Assuming I draw the land. If not, it's just Shimmer Creep comes down. Which is fine also. A Reedry? He's gonna tap the Reedry to make this unblockable. Yeah, remove that counter and remove that blocker. Down to 19. Does opponent have another, like, Blossom Bind or something? What is he, getting into here? I'm gonna make this guy 5 color, so he can't be interacted with. Learn the mistake from the last game of targeting a dude who didn't have trample. Thanks. I think it's pretty nice too. Doesn't change that he's got the colors. Swinging with 20 trample damage, by the way, along with the 2 other cards. Just Plat 1. I went from Plat 2 to Plat 2 yesterday. With my couple of punts that I had. Not the best of days. My mulligans went so poorly yesterday. Every time I mulled what looked like a hand like this, I would just get something so much worse. So, kind of valuing the just the 7 cards versus the 6. Triple mountain for the opponent. He's on 3 mountain. 4th mountain, nothing. Finally a card to be had here. We will draw. Gets his swamp. Gets his cinder strike. Okay. Those really big dude. My play is going to be a little better served to go ahead. Be a little more slow here. I should have the end game pretty well locked up. I mean, if we can get to cast this command against goblins, I'm pretty sure that's just going to be the point this game ends, if we can just get there. So, not looking to do too much. Ooh, okay. He's made a big board. This gives me the extra color, so I can play Pummeler too. Alright, and we will put an island on top. We could put the island on top just to discard it and make a bunch of dudes if we wanted to. Simmer Creep will drain 3. No attacks. What are you killing? I'm not going to trade Pummeler just for like 1 Auntie plus a token. He kills the Council instead of Wildvine Pummeler. What just happened there? What is that? Why would you not kill? What? Why would you kill the 4/3 that already drew a card? Why? and not Pummeler. What? But my lands do become 3 additional 1/1, so every non-red land now is pretty good. Oh, there's a Tam. Yeah, I'm in like the comfortable winning position. I don't need to be trying to like force these guys through. Like I said, if we just get the red source here, it's kind of game over. Wheezing Tam. No discard. He likes this too. But has played this so slow. Like, is it another like? Oh, okay, it's a mischief. Very good for him. Very good indeed. Oh, oh okay. Oh, right. Read it. Copy. I mean, I'm gonna draw Prisma Basher next turn anyway and win the game. So maybe just adding to the board here a little bit more. Wait, what? Oh, deal 2 damage. Lots of drain. Yeah, just him. I don't want to get rid of. Well, this had a blue. I should have attacked with this. I was thinking I didn't want to get rid of a red card, a blue card. Oh my God, Bloodline Busy. Okay. Makes his board again. Let's make this white. That's a lot of dudes. And that's 20 trample damage. So he's just dead. Take a little break here, get my food before it gets cold. surveil one on Foraging Wicker Maw. It's not to be underrated. It's very nice. I'm going to play the Stompling over the core because it is a Kithkin to reduce the cost of Mist Metal Cancel next turn anyway. Figure he was going to play the Shore Lurker. Just makes sense to play it on curve here. Wait. Do I do that, or I could just play Pummeler too, right? Just make this another color. I think just having a giant creature he needs to actually remove here is maybe more important. I'm just gonna line this up to where I can double spell. Play the Archer. And he didn't have an answer for this Pummeler anyway, so I'm feeling fine. Let him do the surveil first. You might surveil away an answer to this card. He bends his island. Oh, I could have played this to block Slither's Embrace. Should have played this, though I would have still drawn this, so maybe it's perfectly fine. I'm just gonna play another Surveil now after the fact. All this stuff has 3 toughness, though. It's still such a good card. At the point now, maybe attacking with these? Forcing some action here. I mean, if it's just block and get rid of these, this is fine. Clear the way a bit. Got rid of some of my colors, right? Got rid of red here, but I've got 2 different colors sitting here in the wings. Clear out some of this chaff here. He still doesn't have good attacks anyway. Probably kind of just wants to pay, but I could embrace and then just get in with this and the cancel. Like put a 1/1 counter here. Blight 1. Is it just too much though? I think it's just doing too much to to burn this card here. I think it's fine to attack with Council. You know, just to see. Like, I'm surprised he made the block with me having just tons of open mana here. But I'm just going to be drawing 2 cards and making 2 treasure, I think. Oh wait, no, he can't. He can't remove the counters now. Okay, so we will deal the 2, even though this only kills. Draw 2, deal 2. It just kills the 1 card, but this is fine. Drawing nothing but land, though. On the other hand, not so fine. Now I'm feeling a lot more like actually getting rid of this card. Maybe I was just slow rolling it too much and should have just been done that last turn. I just figured I would draw more than 3 straight land. Okay. And we're fine here, I think. This is... Shimmer Creep. Drain 3. So I wish that had just been like kind of his 3rd Eclipsed Marrow. Wow. Okay. Okay, this guy's deck is it was looking pretty medium. This dude's kind of doing a whole lot of nothing. But hey, it's getting there. The flooding is getting out of hand here. This Convoke removal spell has gotten me multiple times in this format. This card is so good. And he has a... Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that's nice. And Flock Imposter to bounce the other Marrow? Alright. Looking pretty bleak now. We can fairly comfortably take this hit, but one more. God, this is a sorcery, so I can't even fire this off because he gets to pick it back up. I could kill the token. Oh, this is so bad. So Imposter picks the Marrow. Yeah, this not being an instant really punishing here. Okay, we're still hanging out. don't believe for... I don't believe I have, like, any real outs at this point. I mean, a big reach creatures. Kind of a thing, and we will blight one. I guess this just makes his attack so much better. So maybe I should just kill this Vaulter. I wasn't dead on board, but I didn't have an out. Like, there was nothing that I could draw that would get me out of that. Seeing cards is quite important. Like, I don't have a lot of draw on this deck. Flooding is going to be a problem. But we do our best. It's not like we could cut land or anything, so we got to make all our land drops. I kind of need the black, though. Am I supposed to just hold off on playing this card till I see what other color land I draw? I'm going to keep this. Only black. As you're playing black-white, like, if you see Foraging Wickermaw come down from your opponent, you should almost assume that this is an important card for his deck. And be willing to kill it, I think. This card's a problem. Need the land. Could have actually played this if I had just moved the color. I was thinking I just wanted the Surveil to keep hitting lands. So I could play this, would be green. Yeah, I can't reduce it enough. I wonder if this actually put him in a hard spot. Like, if he doesn't have the removal for Pummeler, he can't blight. As he needs to keep this creature able to trade with it. Yeah. So I'm hoping that's a sign that he can't deal with this card. If I top deck the land, this Prisma Bastard is going to do some damage. Yeah. Oh, just white. This is a black source, right? So white, blue. Lethal attack. Goes the one. Well, he's got a blight. Okay. These have trample. So what's this last card? Okay. Okay. Prisma Basher is very fun. that's just a fun way of winning a game of Magic. Craterhoof Behemoth is never not fun. We're Craterhoofing in Standard. We're Craterhoofing in Limited. Green players are enjoying life right now. Get our swamp. He's got some kind of instant one in the whole priority over there. Thinking of just going Tam into archers. Just give me my colors here. Blossom Bind. Reasonable, I guess. Come on, attack without powering the Lamenter. Because this can only be activated as a sorcery. That's amazing. Alright, and it's just a sneak lane. Happy with that. The Reedry is going to be coming in as a 5/4. Searches up the forest. He is Bant. It's pretty risky. Like, the crackback here is real if he comes in with this card. But it is a lot better as a having 5 power into this board, obviously. Make the block. Oh my goodness. I may lose this game now. So I have to play this and hope to get a Bog Slithers. A Sig and Abigail? Nothing that really interacts with this board, though. So that is very good. Also, he doesn't have the mana to, like, play all these cards. He's going to get rid of the Abigail, which is probably the scariest of them. Oh, he couldn't cast it. It's double white. Like, double white, double black. Like, he doesn't have double white. This guy's really extending his, oh my goodness. Okay. Part of me just wants to get, like, super aggressive with the 4-4. Because swinging a 4-4, 4-3, and the 6-5, he's going to have to make some blocks and lose some of his colors for Sonar. So he'll see less cards. The other thought here is if I, like, just develop one of these creatures. I mean, this one deals 3 damage anyway, but it's not about the damage. Like, I'm actually trying to force blocks. But I do think it's probably just, we just Shimmer creep. We'll do the 4 damage. And this way, this is at least a lethal attack. Like, it's one of those things where I'm giving up the real estate of him not making blocks to do this to, like, force some blocks. So he's got the Sig to trigger. If he flipped the Sig, it would be an extra. Like, if he flipped the Sig first, he'd get an extra card because it'd be white. And those aren't answers. Because these have to be played this turn, so tapping something down with Glamourmite is not doing anything. He's just playing blockers. Oh, he can't even flip this, or he can't play the Spike Lane. Okay, he may have top decked another white source or red source. Protection from each color until your next turn. So he did a solid blocker here. Doesn't give it to Sonar. Which is very important. Like, so if we top deck like a Bog Slither's Embrace, like, we're still good here. Like, if we just get a removal spell for Sonar, we are going to be fine. And it's blue. And we can't find the cards. Possible he still has... No, let's block the 4-4. You're still going to take 4 trample damage with this. Doesn't realize that's how trample works. You don't need to assign like more than what would kill the creature, even if it's protection or indestructible or whatever. The trample still goes over. So. He was getting to untap with Sonar again, which is scary as crap, but you can see like just the kind of clunky really just medium, run-of-the-mill cards. Even if you're drawing a bunch of those cards and playing them, it just doesn't do enough. You gotta actually have cards that do stuff. You need your 2-drops and things to be impactful. He was in a lot of colors, so I'm sure he had some vivid payoffs that he never found. Otherwise, there's really no reason to be playing those hybrid changelings that are just really bad. Again, like the feisty spikeling. Let's make it red, I guess, because we got the island. We'll have all our 4 colors online. It's really hard to want to pass up a Box Slither's Embrace, because we don't have just a ton of interaction in the deck. Left Lieutenant. So that's actually a card worth killing. Just see what our next card is. We're fine with land. This is going to be a lot of damage to keep eating. And we just need a little time. That is not going to give us much time. That card is disgusting. Alright. Alright. I'm going to try to ambush block with the Dawn's Light. But he's just going to play more Kithkin here. It may be out of range already. Like if he goes like 2 Kithkin. Okay. We're still gaming. We're hanging around. We might start chumping with some Wicker Moss. We cannot draw another land here. But he would have had... Like, he would have had give the creature trample and pump the shit out of it. Like, back-to-back turns. Okay, we're going to make a chump block here. Because once this guy starts coming in with the trample, it's going to be over. Yeah, Thoughtweft Imbuer is probably the best Kithkin card that, like, enables the Kithkin decks. Like, it's important to kind of curve out. Fights another card. Okay. This is unbelievably brutal. I'm just gonna die next turn. If we can make the chump now. But that's going to lock up this game because I don't have a way of removing both these cards at the same time. Yeah, maybe we land. Okay. Okay. 5 wins, though. I mean, the run's not over, but 5 wins is the goal. We're good. Rest is just icing on the cake. Hey, I forgot this card was in the deck. This is the first time seeing him. Play this. It ramps just like the Shimmer Wild's growth. But this allows me to block this Reedry a turn. Saves me 3 damage this way. It's a very, very good card. I have been losing a lot of games to Adept Water Shaper. That's for sure. This guy's just a 1/3. Okay. Now I'm more hoping that he just plays more stuff and doesn't like interact with my guys. Doesn't just go like bounce these guys and tempo me out of this game. Like just let me take the 4, block this 3/4, and yeah. This is a rough one in that I'm kind of interested in playing the Prisma Basher. If only just to make a 6/6 blocker, because I can still copy it with the Ashling's command the following turn. So I got a red, a green, a white. Just get in there. We just do it. We just get in there. Stop hovering this dude. Don't touch him. Zero side. Oh. My guy. Take 8, go to 8. I think it's kind of obvious. He might have a trick here to get me on this Prisma Bastard. I just can't risk it in combat. He did not. There was no stick. Unless it's the Convoke, destroy attacking or blocking creature spell. Again, white. We just swing the 9? Because I'm at 8. There's 6 fly. I need these 2 blockers, so if there's any interaction here, I just lose. Maybe I'm not supposed to attack at all. Yeah. Because I can basically, like, if there is an interaction for these guys, I'm swinging for lethal on the next turn with Ashling's Command anyway. Okay. It's my only out. It's my only path to victory is to alpha strike him here. If I knew I could get away with an attack there, it would have been really nice to have done. Okay. So we are going to, yeah, we got a red. Too bad I couldn't get down like another. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. No, I can't play this. Dang. If I had just drawn a land here. Anyway. White. Deal 2. Copy. Copy. Deal 2. Woo! Can't believe I won this game. Holy. 3 Prisma Bashers. See though? Got the a decent Merfolk deck. He did not have well, no, he had Redri. That's like their best turn 2 play. Yeah, that was just a solid play out of the Merfolk deck, and it didn't get there. See, like without the 1-drop, the tapper guy, Wonder Brian, whatever, their starts just aren't as scary, and you can get there. This is an okay card, but am I playing it? I can't bog embrace this for a while. Yeah, it plays. It plays. It lets me find something else to put on top too. Gives me 2 colors. Now I gotta hope he doesn't just have the like thing that makes a shit ton of tokens here. What is this attack? It's got a flash creature? Oh, he's got the 2/4, I guess. But that still would have been okay for me. Yeah, he's definitely got something. Something here. Is that a decline? I wouldn't hate land number 5. So you flash in the 4/2. Right? Okay, I'm not sure what he held there. Then it's really good he didn't just go Battler into 3-drop for me. Like, this is just giving me so much time here. Not really scared of this card now. I think I'm just going to play cards out and try to race at this point. And only care about removing this if it really becomes a problem. Okay. That is more than fine. Hello. Essentially, he played like a 4-mana 3/3. Just doesn't matter to me at all. Yeah. Copying Shimmer Creeps with Ashling's Command. Something that sounds fun too. Just out of nowhere, just drain your opponent for 10. Noggle Robber. Reasonable. He's still holding that combat trick from earlier. So I just don't want him to get value out of his unspent mana here. We'll just drain 4. Again, attacking into his obvious combat trick. Just, yeah. Just make him waste his mana. If he keeps mana up for that combat trick, Just make sure he keeps wasting it. It's the way to go. Okay.
Every time I'm sitting here with the Ashling's command and people are playing 3 toughness tribal deck on me. It's looked really bad when the one-sided Pyroclasm doesn't do much.
Like, he couldn't be making it any more obvious that he's got a trick. Maybe it's the green +3/+3. Like, draw a card if a creature's come into play or something. I don't know. It's got to be something here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be instant speed, command, copy a Shimmer Creep on his turn or whatever. Copy a Shimmer Creep, draw 2 cards. I guess I could have done that sorcery speed, so if I drew a land, I could have played him. Like in the last game where I played it and drew 2 lands. Other than this metal cancel. Okay. At least this time I've got the outlet of Lorwyn for the extra lands. Wow, that's nice. Am I gonna get an indestructible 5/5 trampler? Okay. Because now we know that's the only thing he's gonna attack with. Wait, this has to be red. This is fine, it gives me the extra color. So copy, draw 2. Wow. Okay. This is 5 to activate, and it will make 2 1/1s. Oh, gives it flying. So now we're on a bit of a clock. We do have a reach creature, though. We're at the point now where we'll box Slither's Embraces. Surely. The idea of him getting this card back now every turn and giving stuff flying, kind of rough. No block. Misses a point of damage this way. Could matter. And the thing too is like he'll be able to blight this back, but that means that he'll be able to give the flying creature indestructible also. Blight 1. Yes. Auto pay. I think I really also want to bog Slithers this 4/4 here also. Because he's a menace. So if we can get some blocks off here, surely now we can get this combat trick off. Now that we for sure have enough blockers and things, and we're feeling like we're in a pretty good spot. This card is a little dangerous for us at our low life total. But clearing out a couple blockers here maybe can help us close the game out. I'm assuming we really only have like another turn maybe. If he spends 3 mana on this creature, or on this enchantment rather, doesn't give him a lot else to do. We do have the reach creature. So I'm assuming I'm going to have 1 or 2 turns. You might want to get this game closed out by then. Okay. To damage. We're not going to give you the treasure token. And I kind of want to not give him the surveils anymore. Just get rid of any and all value that he can accrue. Okay. I'm playing this just for the surveil. This doesn't do anything. I'd almost rather draw a land. Here, now that we removed the Blight 2 being an upside, given it whatever the flyer is indestructible, that bought us time. Because the Blight 2 now is a real cost. Like, he blights to, like, onto the Mist Meadow or whatever. I'd be, like... I might have actually done it the other way, just to be like, hey, you need to block this and give me the treasure? But maybe he just doesn't have anything else to do with the mana. But I'm just thinking he definitely does with 4 cards in his hand. I think that could be a difference maker here. Okay. So this grassland becomes a chump block now. But we're still okay with that. We've got things going on. Maybe not the best of things, but we got things. Like, tons of cards in the deck are going to be lethal here. Prisma Basher, something. We do have other reach creatures, the giants that we could play that block this. Oh, did I draft a hired pummeler, the 4 mana or the 5 mana 4/4 draw, or a gain 4 Ward 2 Vigilance Reach guy? I'm going this route. Okay. Is there a world where it is correct to block this with the Lorwyn, make my 3 dudes, because I have to draw like an answer for this, or the ability to just win the game on the spot next turn anyway. Okay, yeah. Alright. Stalactite Dagger actually coming in pretty huge for him there. But 6 wins with this deck. Very happy here. Really saw the power of Vivid and the Prisma Bashers as a finisher. If we had just drawn one that game, we certainly would have wouldn't. The game went on long enough for sure. Yeah. Pummeler for hire. If I just never saw this card, right? It's like it wasn't even in the deck. That's a pretty good run. Hey, we're up to where we can use the gold for a draft now. Here, there's Bitter Bloom Bearer. I've seen this card in action. Not been impressed by it. I'd much rather take a Flame Braider here. Just the 2 mana that adds 2. If you play this on 2 and then play a 5-drop on turn 3, you can get so far ahead that you can kind of just close the game out from there. So that is very much what I'm interested in here. Notable other cards here, of course, there's 3 decent removal spells: Noggle the Mind, Spiral, Blossom Bind, Luminal Hold as a 4th one. And even though this is a mythic, and maybe, so I just don't want to take a double black, flyer here and stuff. I want more of a reason to be in my colors than that. Keep seeing Celestial Reunion come around. Reaping Willow is so good. So powerful. There are a lot of other cards that are quite good, like over this card, and so I'm not saying it's just perfect or anything, and it doesn't go with our Flame Braider first pick at all. But the only other card that really does is Kolrath Zealot, which is stock in this card keeps going up and up. A 6/5 that draws you a card for 6 mana is quite well, and then a buyout of basic land cycling, but not. It's a good card, not a powerful card. We're going to take powerful cards first. Wildvine Pummeler, the Vivid Payoff card. I'm going to take a Willow here and just kind of stay open. You get into this pack. This pack is absolutely terrible. Eclipsed Marrow being the best card in it. Then maybe Boggart Curse Crafter. Again, none of this going with our first 2 picks at all. Of these 2 cards here, which one would I be more willing to lean into? Or this is one of those times where maybe you do take the Feisty Spikeling and just stay as open as possible. And be told in the next pick, what is open. So I'm going to do that. And here we see more like a lot nicer cards now at this point. We see another Pummeler for a Vivid Enable. We see a Soul Bright. I'm going to take Changeling. This Changeling, Omni Changeling, has proven has proven itself multiple times in my games. Noting also that there's a Flaring Cinder here. It's looking like Elementals is open. Now we see a Zealot. We're not seeing the cheap red burn spells. Taking note, there's not like good red or black cards here, so maybe someone is goblins. Not the guy who passed us the last pack that had the Death Touch dude in it, but maybe there's somebody else sitting around who's in goblins. Here though, here we're seeing nothing. Like nothing for anything really. Yeah, this guy's an elemental, but this is terrible. This is a terrible card. Wonderwine Farewell is the best card in the pack, but we are miles away from this. Here's another pummeler. And another Wicker Maw. I'm gonna take a pummeler here. Note that I may have just... See, so many of the drafts go this way. There's just nothing pulling me in any direction. What am I supposed to be, some sort of blue Convoke deck? But I hate Lofty Dreams, so it'd be this then? Nope. Maybe there's a backdoor into Merfolk here? Distractor. It's really good if you get the things that allow you to tap them at instant speed. Can make combat almost impossible then. Eclipsed Marrow pick 11. That is the slam it sign we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be Merfolk. Get an Oko. Oko here. Not super busted, but if you get some if you can get to a point where you're playing him on turn 3 and you did actually play like a 1-drop, 2-drop curve, and they can't just get to this guy, him making like 2 Elks and then sticking around is just busted. But he's in a weird color combination of blue-green. I'm still going to take it here.
I'll give you a performance to remember.
Just kind of noting it's not maybe the best though. Volter is just not something that I'm very excited the idea of playing. Is there any way that we were wrong on the read at all? Because there's a Prisma Bastard, a Burning Curiosity, or and a Cinder Strike. I mean, it's not surprising that this stuff is open from the left. I'm going to take a Cinder Strike. Because there's... Oh, but now we see a Trapper. Preacher's not very good. We're going to take the Assistance. Yeah, we're just going to like go in, force this now. And hope it's there. Oh, this is that crappy Kithkin, dude. Yeah, we don't want that. So even like these cards here, just kind of whatever. Sprite's actually pretty good at just getting in there every turn. This does put your opponent on a fairly decent clock just starting turn 2. And if you get some surveil value out of it, playing something at instant speed, then it's pretty good. But maybe it's Flock Imposter, though. I'm going to take the Flock Imposter. Runaway Together. A very nice little tempo value play that could be made, bouncing Flock Imposter, Eclipsed Marrow, maybe even your Raping Willow back again. I've done things like where I've played a Changeling on something early, picked up the Changeling again, the clone, and replayed it on a better target later. So that's pretty nice. Shore Lurker. Nice. I'm thinking that nobody in this pod is in the Vivid deck. But could be wrong there. Seeing these Vivid payoffs just going around like crazy. It's kind of hurting my brain. 'Cause that has been the most fun deck for me by far. And if it comes to a point where I just have decided what deck is the most fun and that I like doing, like once it gets towards the end of the format, as far as filling the collection is out, and I'm just polishing up, needing those last few packs before I crack them all and swap to playing standard. Then I will care a lot more about fun over practicality. Oh, Temporal Cleansing too. Oh, and Rhyme Clan Recluse. This and the Flock Imposter Runaway Togethers and just tempoing your opponent out. These are the most powerful feelings that I get in the format of, yeah, I'm really doing the thing. Like, that's the aggro to me. As a tempo aggro feels the best. This is a weird one. I think it's supposed to be Flock Imposter. I might actually just rare draft the Sunder Flock out of this pack. Second Flock Imposter and second Stratosaur loses a lot of value to me. Champion of the Soul is just a hell of a stomping. This guy comes in and just makes combat like impossible. This is one of those must answer cards. If you don't, you're just gonna die. It's like a Rhyme Chill. I would like to take an Evolving Wilds, but this effect is just pretty good. We're much more of a tempo oriented deck over like a go wide and drop the Lords and just get them dead deck. So one combat trick is nice. How many creatures though? 14. No, I'm gonna take the second Shore Lurker. Ugh. I would say I'd rare draft this, but I definitely know I have a full collection of these. I take these guys all the time. But maybe it's still okay. I'd rather play one of these other cards in my sideboard over most of this stuff. Oh, another Temporal Cleansing. That is it. And now the deck is pretty much done. A Glamour Gifter, though. Or a Runaway Together. I'd take a Glamour Gifter? I haven't really played with this card yet. And I do feel it's quite powerful. Second Unexpected Assistance. This is just my second draw spell. So there's a nice one. I've definitely cut this Lofty Dreams. Stratosaur. Just like, yeah. I'm not playing any of these anyway. Probably cut the Willow. And that crappy combat trait comes around. Okay. Yeah, we're just a full on more tempo oriented deck here. I'm actually going to cut this Oko. I need to add green to the mana base to flip this. I just don't care. We do have double blue spells, but they have Convoke. I'm actually going to go up on the white to try to make sure that when this is in my opening hand, I'm starting with plains plus this. And we can get there. But maybe that's just wrong. I mean, we have so many more blue cards. Yeah. Yeah. Any other cards I just don't like in the deck? Distractor. We only have the one way. Well, we have two ways of tapping it with the Gravel Gill, but this isn't like defensively. This is the only way. Is there a card I'd rather play over it, though? Reaping Willow is going to be too hard to cast if we're not heavier plains. Also, I'm sure it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Alright, like a acceptable Merfolk pile. We'll see if it gets there. Give him the hello. Not loving this. Probably going to basic land cycle this for plains. Kinda want my opponent to like use a removal spell first before I try to get down the Champions of the Shoal. There we go. And now I actually have a... If I wait till turn 6, then I'll have a way of protecting it too, even if they do have the removal spell. There we go. It's really all I wanted, just Let me see a removal spell, and I'll feel like the coast is clear. But now, in the interest of just being a little bit more mana efficient, I'm going to go this way. Zealot. Okay. Solid. So we're going to behold this one just to get it up from under this, and then we can just keep this dude tapped down. We can start getting in here. Start getting busy. That's a very obvious trick to walk into. Now we're feeling very good. Because the worst thing you can have of your champions is to get them like Blossom binded. Or the spiral onto them and they just never remove it. And you're kind of getting 2 for 1. So always nice to have a way of getting that back to your hand or something, getting out from under that. So just tap this down. So just pump this guy. I don't want to hold up the thing. We'll just play this though. There's some thing to see said for not overextending, because there is the mythic rare freaking one-sided board wipe, but it can't get this because he doesn't have a toughness 6 creature. Set that on board. I'm gonna have to hop on. I haven't been taking mulligans, but that one is definitely unplayable. I did nothing ever but lose. Door of Destinies? Whenever you cast a spell of the put a chart, creatures you control get +1 for each charge counter on this. Are you fucking kidding me? What the hell is that? Guess we can kind of turn up the clock here. But good lord. I could changeling this Miss Metal Council to draw a card. Or it's like a tributary vaulter. I mean, we could start swinging for 9 on there, though, so. Maybe we get him dead before this thing just freaking kills me. Already in chump block territory, though? This guy's coming in for 9? That's a nice art on it, dude. That's kind of. Oh no! Oh no! Okay. So you're telling me there's a chance? I do have to put one of these back in my hand. This thing stopping this guy from swinging is a big deal. And the 6 toughness on this, even if he plays like 2 Kithkin, I can still block this changeling. I'm getting obliterated. Okay. Okay. Are you kidding me? This has to attack to get the tap down. He double blocks, it deals 6, so he doesn't even... Alright, it's +2. It's almost better that I don't tap this down. But like I tap down the Eclipsed Kithkin, and it forces the block on the pummeler, and then I can replay this. Otherwise I'm just like dead next turn. So we're going to actually tap here. Right? Because he's going to block there. Or he's not going to block. I mean, I'm just dead on board if he doesn't block. I had no... Yeah, I've got no good ways out of this. I gotta hope he blocks champion. Okay. I just don't see how I'm getting the damage across, though. Like, I don't see how I'm getting these 8 points of damage in here. There's nothing in my deck I can draw. I don't have a removal spell for the enchantment. What an absolute beating. I think we can do anything about that. That's just a game you're going to lose. Maybe if I had a main board disenchant effect, then sure. You know, maybe you can get there. The unfortunate start of Trapper into no 2 or 3 drop, though. Not getting the curve out. Still a great card. But if you follow this up with a 2-drop Lord or something, you're really doing the thing. There's no green flash creature. Just attack in there. We'll be tapping this dude. Ooh. Okay. Now we could have the... I meant there was no 2-drop flash creature. There is the 4/2 flash reach guy, which is pretty good here. If I had another mana where I could play this Distractor and hold up the Activate, it would feel a lot better. And playing this and to just be forced to block here is pretty bad. There is, of course, just play this and then Temporal Cleansing this guy. Or better yet, the Lurker. Wait. It had to be the blue one. What am I doing? It had to be the blue guy so I could actually play this spell. Oh, I had the line right, and then I was just like, this creature sucks. Let me play the flyer. Without even realizing, like, now there's a whole reason I did it that way. Alright. Trade my 1-drop for your 3-drop. Jeez. So bad. So bad of me. this is so much better. I could have played this and done the changeling this turn also. Hey, you're just dead on board, dude. $20.26 flying creatures still get it done in limited. You know, it's nice to see some things never change. Finally, the Recluse, probably the second best card in the deck behind Champion of the Soul. Doing this so that I can flock imposter, pick this up to I can pick up another thing. This is terrifying. So now I can double the spells. Which means so we're gonna let him resolve the copy so he doesn't target the okay. So I'll let this go and flock imposter, the champion of the soul. We just have a okay. He's just pitching cards for more spells to copy. This is fine. I don't blame him. Play this as it's a little harder to kill for him. Even with doubling spells. Dear God, fucking really? I've had this card. Like I first picked this card and tried to get their spells, and then just couldn't cast freaking spells. Well. Block, sure. Okay. This is essentially free with the convoke spells. Still gonna be Volter, because there's a lot of value to be said for putting this. Like, if he puts it on top, then he's not drawing like a double removal spell. Getting in for 1 damage is kind of whatever, so yeah, we're gonna do this. Because then putting this on top isn't very good. This is just removing this guy, I guess. Yeah, oh, he kept it on top! Just gotta hope he doesn't have another Tweeze or another Embrace. Okay. Every time, they just draw all the lands. Alright. Oh, we know he drew that card. Doesn't have the damage. Yeah, he should not have put that card on top. What a start from opponent, though. That's a nice deck. Not well executed, but a nice deck. See, this is the problem with Glamour Gifter. It's a do-nothing card. Most of the, like, too often. Can't even mulligan his hand either. Looks like I'm getting planes though. Can't miss on lands here. What a shitty card. It's good in the flash deck. It is not good here. I'm gonna take this out. See if there's anything else I can play. Oh great. Well, look at this. We get to save ourselves a point of damage. Whatever. That's just so bad. I should have played the unexpected assistance before I'm too far behind to be able to resolve it and not die the next turn. Okay. chewing through these guys. Okay, I'm just gonna main phase it. Oh, every freaking time, man. It's always 2 lands plus a card. Which is fine, I guess. Monty. Shouldn't have attacked with this card. Should have kept it to just keep blocking this guy. The Seer? Into the Cinder Strike. Okay. So a wow deck. Definitely this guy like locked up. This double striker is a bit of a problem. Could changeling it. Seems kind of doo-doo. Anyway, I'm just gonna actually play this card. Okay. Just really wanted to see that next card. I know I'm like eating 4 damage or what. Holy shit. Goblin decks always have this card. Even my Goblin decks had this card. There's no nice convoke here. There's no nice anything here. This is unbelievably bad. At this point, we are going to take this double striker dude. If anything, they can bounce off each other. take 6, 7, 8? Go to 1? What the heck? Yeah, there's just nothing here. Come on, deck. It's not tapping out the blue sources. Put it on bottom. How can I get any damage across? Like a cleansing this, attack with my double striker, then I'm trading this guy away? We can't do that.
Okay. Can't block, sure.
The damage doubled the thing of the change link. Because it's not one-sided, it's all goblins deal double damage, so it killed the... Okay.
Okay, that's fine. We're okay. That's why, like, every Merfolk deck I get just doesn't quite get there. I'm missing, like, all the good Kinfolk stuff. The, Marrow Sky Swimmers. But there's always, like, little key pieces missing. It's like, oh, I didn't get the good white removal. Or, oh, I didn't get the Lords, or... Seems like there has to be a fairly nice, like, complete package you need. Oh, excuse me. He can't buff it to the 4/5. It takes double green. Right. Hiya? Oh no! No, I can't believe I just did that. I've been playing around everything so well. And just got ate up by that. Oh no. What a punt attack. And he had stick too. Yeah. That may have cost me this game already. Like, you can't just punt away resources and hang around.
That was so unbelievably painfully, like, stupid. Like, oh my goodness. Like, no matter how much you play and stuff, you still just make the dumbest freaking mistakes sometimes. No. Oh my. That's it. This is nice, right? We get to go with the runaway together, pick up my Rhymekin, bounce his whatever, replay the Rhymekin to bounce something else. Assuming he just doesn't have a massive turn here, or something that I can't come back from. I'm liking my position, even into his 5 cards. Okay, yeah. Perfectly fine. And we're just gonna push damage. Now we have another cleansing to bounce something else, plus Trapper to tap down his reach creature. Scout, he's looking to get the extra damage out. Ooh, that is not something you should have done. Now we can just bounce it. And then tap his life linker so he can't race me. Even do it in upkeep. Just in case he draws a it's not a snakeskin veil. It has the effect, but instead of a 1/1 counter, it's just +2/+2 till end of turn. Forget the name of the card. I don't think I've ever put it in a deck yet, but I have had it beat me in one game. Got beat by it once. And that's usually what it is, you know. One of those cards beats you one time, and then you start playing around it. But this is even better. Like, getting to play my temporal cleansing on this Dawnlight's Archer means he has to have something else for this card. He has to have some blocker or removal spell for this card now. And he might have. He must have to keep playing. Okay. There may be an instant speed pump effect that gives a creature reach. Sometimes we see those. I can't think if there is one. Not that I remember. But even so, I was playing around it by keeping my tapper available to... and there's no point
attacking with the ground creatures, he would just get the lifelink. This card is so bad, I forgot to take it out. Might even lose me a game here. The upside of this card is... it's not even like that high. Like the ceiling on this card, just a 1/2 creature that lets you win a combat once, like a combat trick that makes a 1/2 flyer. So the ceiling's kind of high, but man, the floor is really low on this card. But now I can go Changeling, a Recluse. No! He saw it. He saw the unending value. Nah, you're just gonna fire off a shock on a 3/2. The idea of like copying it and then picking it up with Imposter and just chaining it. Or you could just go Imposter, pick it up, Changeling, the Imposters, and just like get into some kind of loop there. I don't know. Tell you what, I've got a nice trick lined up here where I can Flock Imposter, pick up the Glamour Gifter, then replay it to make the Flock Imposter a 4/4 to block the Sting Slinger, which I'm hoping is what's going to happen here. Okay. Kind of get him this way. Goes ahead and gets the thing. I love these sleeves, by the way. I started playing like in the late 90s where you could like buy Ice Age packs and Tempest and Mirage and stuff. And I just love all that stuff. It's not bad just to rhyme chill this guy. And he's taking 6 a turn. It's okay. You had a really nice like Champion of the Soul into cloning Champion of the Soul. Just realized this guy's in Boros with just a very random pile of cards.
Because when you... This is a cast trigger that be holding the guy? Ah, shit. Really? I'm so sad. Yeah. Start playing these 3/5 flyers. Boros is a deck that plays in the -1/-1 counter synergies. As see, he can put -1/-1 counters here to constantly make my guys unable to block. I've got a healthy life lead here. I do think the play is just to get in here with this Stratosaur, play another one. This guy's had a decent removal spell for like all my creatures that really mattered. Like anything I wanted to keep alive for this clone has just not gotten there. And we might even be at a spot of needing to clone like a Sourbread Auntie just to make a lot of blockers. Oh gosh. Okay. So this is odd. What I'm gonna do, so I'm like staring at 4, 8. Wait. I'm actually gonna take his Flock Imposter and pick up the Gifter. And now he has to block a Stratosaur? Like, it doesn't matter, because the sum of 3 plus 4 is 7. So we're just going to make this a 4/4. Didn't get there. That one was that was kind of cool. I hated on this damn Glamour Gifter. You know, far be it for me to say something bad about a card that carries a game for me by replaying it 2 times. I am not cutting it now. He heard me. He was like, what? You saying I'm bad? Check it. I'm the only reason you're going to win this game. So, he sticks around. these aren't cards that I need to play till later, so having a 3-4 curve here is fine. Now this is where, oh yeah, this is where these hands are not okay. This is I lose the game terribly so. Maybe I shouldn't have played anything and like use this Flock Imposter to try to ambush block the Deep Channel Duelist. I think that turning this into a 3-mana removal spell for this was better than playing Tributary Vaulter. I just didn't think about it long enough. Because I'm already at 10. Oh. Oh no! This might look a little obvious to him. We'll see. Alter. Okay. I needed a land. I need a land, and I could have done the same trick as last game of Flock Imposter. Pick this up. Make the Imposter the 4/4 to like block this Tributary Vaulter or something. But now I'm on like tapping it. And playing Imposter? No. This is just so bad. Okay, that's definitely garbage. This is rough, but his attacks are getting worse. Right? His attacks are getting worse. But I don't imagine he's going to stop playing cards. He's going to have more gas here. And I've got nothing in the tank. Five wins though. I'm quite happy with that with this deck. I did not feel like this deck was very strong at all. Kind of like it was a decent tempo deck, but our like actual removal was Combat Trick Blossom Bind. everything else was just all tempo plays. And once we got like behind, there wasn't like a lot of way of catching up. So getting the 5 wins before the 3 losses, very happy about that. Just seeing this gem count grow back up to 7,000 gems. Our pack count is getting nice. It's 69. Didn't even mean to do that. Oh man, for an old man, shouldn't be making jokes like that. Not that corny. I don't think I've checked out the store today. Sometimes the store can have the draft tokens and stuff for sale, or just give you free gold and things. If I wanted to change 900 gems and the 900 gold and the 20 gems, I could buy this Tarkir pack because I have all the Tarkir rares. I will take a little break though and try to finish eating. Give me something else to drink. Be back in a minute.